بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله خاتم الأنبياء وإمام المرسلين نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Okay everyone, how are you all doing today? I should go through a book review or a bit of the lesson on akhlaq, but I know some of you wanted to talk about the storm that's being whipped up in the UK by the miserable people in the government. Okay, whether it's the front bench or the back bench, whatever they are, the ones that are on the same page running this atrocious campaign. So, that being said, let's start the discussion. I will go to Twitter and share my screen. Bear with me a moment. Alaikum salam, Tanwir. How you doing, brother? So if I present, share screen. Okay. All right, so you should be able to see my screen. This is Twitter. And check this out. This video here, it's funny that we still call it video and we don't use videotapes anymore. Anyhow, let's move back. If you might not be able to see, but I think the tent or the canopy, whatever you want to call this thing, has got the branding from IERA, which says life is more than just a game or something like that. It's their new campaign for the Olympics. So this is Dawah stall somewhere in the UK on a high street. Watch what happens. Look, somebody attacked it with a stick. What do you say, Tanwir? Can you hear or not? Yeah, they attacked them with a stick and then they flipped the table over. What's on the table? They're copies of the Quran and Dawah material. Look, watch. They flip over the canopy, they lift up the table and dash it. All the books fall on the floor. Bruv, what's this? What's being sprayed? Some sort of fire extinguisher. Guys attacking them with a stick. Like it's India. Have you seen those police in India that love to attack people with sticks? Now, let's check out these assailants. All in uniform. They're wearing black hoodies, black boots. That indicates to me it's been issued to them. These are very likely police. This is very likely a police operation. Yeah, none of them are showing their faces. They're all covered up. Now, why would the police or the government be doing such a thing? Ask yourself that question. And I'm glad a lot of you are aware of this. You're all saying it's fake news. Yeah, exactly. Why are they doing? Why would the government be doing such a thing? So, what was the news just 1 week ago? The news a week ago was all about GMP, something called GMP, Greater Manchester Police. booting somebody's head, like it was a rugby kick, trying to boot it off his spinal cord. Police brutality. Yeah, I did, bro. I went on TikTok today. I caused a bit of a stir, but yeah. Hopefully I'm not banned, but I'll go on TikTok again, inshallah. So yeah, the news was about Greater Manchester Police. Now, if you check out Greater Manchester Police, what was the issue? They were guilty of police brutality. It was on video, attempted murder, pretty much. The public had completely lost confidence in the police. What happened next? They deployed their asset, Tommy Robinson, conveniently deployed whenever they need him. Yeah, conveniently deployed whenever they need him. So he was sent out to group up his followers to try and cause some type of riot if they could, right? Why would they do that? Because people will forget about the police brutality they were complaining about. They'll feel in fear for their lives and say, we need the police to protect us. Do you see? All of the noise about police brutality will be forgotten. Now, is this just my fantasy? Is this me like being a conspiracy theorist? Or is there history? Well, what happened when Mark Duggan got murdered by the police? Immediately, riots. A police car was left on the road while the press were there filming. No police around. And they allowed the police vehicle to get torched, set on fire to trigger riots so that people will start to call for the police to help them again. These people, as you can see, they're in uniform. They are police, or they work, or they've been hired by police, one of the two. So this is a government operation. Do not think this is some random, organic, grassroots movement. It's not. Obviously, some stupid people would, follow along, but this is a designed operation. Don't fall for it. Don't call the police to come and help you. Bun them, bun the police, bun the government. So LA 111 says, and the black community in the UK are very angry as well. Your conspiracy theories are getting more and more unhinged. You're not mentally well, says Uberella's shoe. Look, I'm not saying believe what I'm saying or or even that I believe what I'm saying. I'm thinking out the box. I'm thinking what could be happening. And I can't ignore the patterns that I'm seeing. You can't just be ignorant to what you're witnessing. You have to string things together. This will turn into EDL versus people of color in the coming days. Yeah, yeah. Can't disagree with you. What's your TikTok react? I think it's reactionary. I'll check it out. I'll log in a moment and we'll see what's going on TikTok. Okay. Tommy is hiding in Spain. Yeah, and don't forget, who does Tommy work for? Oh, yes. Who does Tommy work for? So, yeah, Tommy is like the puppet on the string. He's the convenient bad guy that they use to whip up trouble. He's their foot soldier. All right. So, if we look at Tommy Robinson, Israel. Oh, who's that? Who's this? Tommy! Oi, Tommy Robinson. That's him. That's who he works for. And that's who's deploying him. Employing him and deploying him. Exactly, Lady in the Veil, sister. Big up. That's exactly what's going on. Salam, Joe Baz. Walaikum salam, brother. Mate, Raspect is organising a protest too, reactionary, yeah, is he? Okay. Hegelian dialects, yes. Police brutality is bad, says Paul. Yeah, of course. The good days have arrived. What's the end game then, reactionary? Oh, I explained. The end game is they want to restore order in society where the police are respected. Nobody should question the police. They're in, and the role of the police is to protect government. In the old days, the idea of police is to protect the population. It's police by consent, but it's become the police protecting government. Right? When October the 7th happened, you had these politicians like Cleverly and Lammy and Starmer, and all of them providing weapons for war crimes. They didn't get arrested. They should have been arrested. But the police will not arrest those who pay their salary. Reactionary, let me tell you something. Do you know what that Hindus are fueling the English people and pretending to be English on X? Oh yes, ad or AD. Yes. Let's come back to this. Let's come back to very very well spotted, my friend. So if we check out this video from Dili Hussain, right? He's also part of this IERA Dawa campaign, so he's going to be feeling upset by this video too, I'm sure. But check out the comments. If I can find the one I saw earlier. Um, I don't know this one. Elenice Vidali, 15 followers and 24 followers. Okay, it's probably an Indian. There was an account there that I checked out, and it was clear. You can spot the bot farms that have been deployed to spread propaganda. You can check out the number of followers. You check out all their previous tweets. What have they posted? And you'll see a trend. All right. Now, and then check out the foolishness, right? This is my discussion on TikTok today. You had some people saying, "Yeah, oh, we don't agree with riots, but how else are people supposed to protest what's going on in the world, right?" Yeah, they're upset that somebody was or some children we're told, I don't know if it's factually true, but we're told some children were unalived by some person of 17 years of age, and they didn't disclose the name. Well, it turns out the person who's 17 years of age, if it's true, he's Welsh. He was born in Wales. He's not an immigrant. But these people are talking about immigrants and Muslims. Like, you know what's going on. It's a script. You like Hollywood. You like Hollywood. Also, same cousins. Who else we got? People in other countries like Indian Hindus and Americans are spreading fake news to the English people. Yeah, there's millions of Indians. Like, and like in India, they can employ 1 million Indians at $1 a day to just sit at computer screens and type comments all day, very easily. The population is so large. Chinese can do that too. How are you going to combat that? Actually, you see Tommy's interview. No, I don't watch his interviews. With an Indian media news outlet today. No. And this is what's getting pushed abroad as well, right? So outside of the UK, they're not seeing the nuance that we're talking about. Dilly and these 5 pillars people, they need to do a show live. They need to get active and put out the counter propaganda. What are they doing? They're getting all these donations saying, yeah, we need money to do our thing. We're the only Muslim media channel. Well, get active then. They should be on the ground at these events, filming what's going on. I can take this small little clip and identify that this is an operation. Do you remember when Tan was sent to Speaker's Corner, right? Tan, and he was the day that he was going to get rushed. All of a sudden, all of the protective squad came out, right? You could see it was an operation that was organized by some type of company. And that's what's going on with these events. They've done the same thing in the United States too. Andrew Tate also caused this, a friend of Tommy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this Andrew Tate guy. But inshallah, the Muslims are waking up. Of course, you have to take a person by their word, right? If somebody claims to be a Muslim, claims to take their shahada, you have to accept them. You can't just like say, "Oh, I don't believe you." You have to give him a chance. Well, he's had loads of chances now, coming out with his shirk and kufr in his posts, talking about he is God. What kind of rubbish is that? That's kufr. He needs to take his shahada again, if you ask me. CNN News 18. Okay, good. The Rwandan didn't kill the girls. Well, that's the question, right? First of all, did any girls get unalived? That's a very fair question. In other words, was it a false flag? Was it a hoax? Right? If it was a hoax, that means nobody actually died. It's just a made up story. There's no way to prove it. Was it a false flag? Meaning, was some mentally deranged person bribed or coerced into somehow committing the heinous alleged attack? Um, and if it was none of those, and it was just some random guy who decided to go and unalive a bunch of nursery school children or however old they were, then that's just, why would it result in this? So these Dawa people, are they responsible for doing that? Kind of get out of here. And then you get people like Eddie Hearn making comments as though, oh, the government needs to do something. The people have had enough. And then Tommy retweeting Eddie Hearn. Bun Eddie Hearn. He was a child of immigrants, clearly. Welsh Christian. Yeah, so who in the UK is not a child of immigrants? The whole country is an island. Everyone here. Don't you remember the country was Roman for a period of time? Then it became French. What else we got? Muslims are being fooled by Andrew Tate, and my people are being fooled by Tommy. Yeah, forget Andrew Tate now. Yeah, if you, I don't. From time, I unsubscribe from him anyway. So yeah. Axel Moganwa Radakubana, not an Englishman. Yeah, but he's British. He's Welsh, right? The traditional ethnicities of the United Kingdom have evolved. They've changed. Ethnicity changes over time. The the flavor of a pizza changes once you add and remove ingredients. Muslims are being fooled by Tate. Okay? We read that already. Takfir him. Okay. Now I'm not going to do takfir the guy. I haven't spoken to him, but what I've seen of a couple of posts, you could like infer there's kufr in some of what he's posted. Definitely. You have to defend yourself. These people are all drunk and will believe anything, any single thing Tommy says. They think, yeah, exactly. Yeah, look. Well, you say that, right? Some people, the drunk people, the ones that were at the place where the guy, I don't know if you saw, what's that place called? Southport. Southport. Okay. Where is it? You know the clip of the guy getting hit with a brick. Where is it? Yeah, check this out. Ooh. Oh gosh. Oh. You know what I thought of when I saw that? You know the punishment. You know when they talk about Sharia law, people, they say women get stoned to death. That's what I thought of when I saw this man get stoned to death by his own people. This is what you call anti-Sharia law. getting stoned to death for anti-Sharia law. Let's see. All right, so that first one bounced off of that little screen right into his chest. Allah is punishing him, direct punishment. Look. And then the next one comes at the back of the head. Oh. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. There are only a few videos online that I can watch over and over again. Like, this is definitely one of them. This, I would say, is a Tommy Todd, right? I don't think he's an organized goon that's been hired by the government. This is just a Tommy Todd. But the other video I showed you earlier, yeah, this guy dressed in black, he's a goon he's a paid agent, yeah. But this guy here, without the uniform, is probably just a random follower. This guy in black, he's wearing their uniform. Notice none of them get arrested. Yet this woman, this Muslim woman walking on a protest with a banner saying, Suella is a coconut, Rishi's a coconut. She gets arrested, taken to prison, loses her job as a school teacher, and has to go to court, gets charged. Right? Just for calling Suella a coconut. Whereas this guy can cause all this type of damage. He's attacking police and he doesn't get arrested. Well, why are they holding back? Why aren't they arresting people? Because they've been told not to. That's why. Because it's a government operation. Allegedly, possibly. Who knows, right? I'm just thinking out the box. The African guy was on a BBC show. It's also strange that he was an actor. J1 London, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Subhanallah. See, it's important to talk about this stuff. I wonder if I put Southport, false flag. Is there anything there about that? Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's not just me saying it. Look, other people are onto it. This whole Southport psyop was set up from start to finish. The murderer was an actor, more than likely paid by MI5 to be part of this false flag event. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. There you go. It's not just me saying it. People are intelligent enough to spot the pattern. Absolutely sick what military intelligence, media, and government simulate just to justify a surveillance state. Yeah. So I won't say that it's to justify a surveillance state, but I will say it's the response to the outrage against the police. They're saying this is to cause some type of temporary disruption for the greater good of long-term stability. Yeah. Revealed how Southport stabbing suspect Axel Rudakubana starred as Doctor Who for BBC. He starred as Doctor Who when he was 11 years old. So he's an actor. So someone says, so you're saying no kids actually died? I don't believe it, no. That's what Maze of Deception says. So it could be a hoax. It could actually be a hoax. Check out, okay, I will do, Jobaz, give me a moment. Pagan lovers love Tate and still love many assortment of pagans, says Birdnest. Check out police allowing Muslims to attack protesters, Stoke-on-Trent. Okay, I'll do that. The Tommy Tomo hate speech have radicalized many little pagans. 17-year-old pagan Southport job radicalized by Tommy Tomo. Okay. Who is not a child of immigrants? I would think most Englishmen, Welsh, Scottish. Well, they're all immigrants too, from the Celts and Denmark and Norway and those places, right? It's a nation of immigrants. Immigration has never stopped. There's always been migration. It's just nowadays it's accelerated migration for whatever reason, right? I'm not justifying it, the level of migration that's taken place ever since Tony Blair came to power. The level of migration is just the floodgates opened pretty much, yeah. But then, what I was reading is that there's more illegal immigrants that, like, the government was talking about Bangladeshis. Well, they're not even on the top 10 list of immigrants. The number one largest amount of immigrants come from Australia. When I say immigrants, I mean illegal immigrants, those without documentation or those who overstay their visas. Australian immigrants are by far the largest number. Can you believe that? But nobody's complaining about Australians. Oh, sorry, Mike Malzahn. Oh, Mike Malzahn, I know you are. Yeah. He said, I would think most Englishmen, Welsh, this is not a new nation. I'm American. And yeah, but Americans are immigrants too, Mike. Don't you know that you're immigrants? You're from Europe, New York. Why is it called New York? York is in the UK. It was New Amsterdam before that. Where's Amsterdam? Where's Harlem? Harlem is in the Netherlands. Brooklyn, the Netherlands, fam. Anyhow, the United States, you're American. Like, Americans are immigrants. The Mayflower, you heard of the Mayflower, the ship. All right, this is why you don't get between the rioters and the police. Well, that guy was a rioter, and the agents in the crowd are wearing the same thing, so they exactly J1 London. J1 London is on point today, right? Judo Christian Hindu gave stoning predating. Okay. Okay. Look, bed nest. I try to. Sometimes I understand what you type. Sometimes I'm just completely lost. I don't know what wavelength you're speaking in. All right. They often have to carry out false flags just so people start respecting the police. Yes, J1 London. Many Muslims are now thinking cops will help them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the Hegelian dialect, right? Problem, reaction, solution. I better stop talking so loudly. My neighbors are gonna complain. All right. So, what is the purpose of this hoax? Mike Malzahn, read what J1 London said. That's the purpose. Yeah. You may not be aware of what happened in the UK about a week ago with the Greater Manchester Police trying to kick off the head of somebody. All right. Well, Mike, it's not just hundreds of years. Like, yeah, migration hasn't stopped. It just never stops. It just continues. People are always moving. They don't stay in one place. It could be many reasons, mate. Yeah. Mike Malzahn could be many. Okay. Name 2. Click the bell. All right. What's on the bell? Where's the bell? Right. Go to messages.
Recognize you. He's dead. I think he's dead. Ambulance as soon as possible. Somebody's been killed. We think. We think he's dead. Animals still contract. I don't know what they've done to him. Not open. If it was. What street is this? It's by St John's Church in Hamley. Town Road. Yeah, but they were allowed to walk off. If it was one of us that had done that, it'd be different. I think he might. I hope he's not dead. Joe's not dead. I saw them all run around there. Why didn't you? Oh, they were allowed go. This is just. know. Stabbed him in the neck. Stabbed him? I saw it. Nah, he's been stabbed in the neck. So we've got a head wound. I think he's been stabbed in the neck. I think he's been stabbed in the neck.
Look, I don't believe that. What's this about? A lone black man was attacked in Bristol today. An Asian man jumped in to defend him before the police stepped in. Okay, let's see. All right, this needs reviewing. Let's see, where were the police? No police. No police yet. The police come in. Just as somebody else steps in, the police arrive with their batons. Is that a woman police officer? Yeah, they got like spongy material in their clothing, haven't they? They'll probably arrest a black man. Sadly, that's how it is. Well, this guy's got like a military colored t-shirt. He might be in the army, you know. He's wearing like army colored black shorts. Or maybe he's ex-army. Whatever he is, he's drunk. He's been drinking. He's not running straight. This guy's doing well. He's backing up a bit. Creating his own space. That's a good thing to do. Tommy comes in with his hand out. Brother takes a swing. Well avoided. Did he connect? Can't see the punch connecting because this guy's head is in the way. Looks like he may have touched him. Yeah, I think he did because he's losing his balance. Drunk Tommy man is he's just trying to land a right-hander. He hasn't even swung it yet. So this guy's coming in with the left. Boom! Oh, right behind the ear. Nice shot. Look at the angle. He swings around, avoids a punch, and hits the hook at the same time. Nice. And this guy managed to keep his balance, so it wasn't a hard enough hit, but still. So this other guy with the bluish t-shirt, the aqua color t-shirt, he's coming down. What's he doing? Who's he attacking? He's got something in his hand. He's trying to hit someone. The police come just in time to stop him getting involved. Okay, so there's somebody he's managed to... All right, looks like he's grabbing this guy with the blue or black tracksuit top. No, it's not. It's somebody else. It's weird. Weird. Okay, so back to the comments. These people are jokers. They attack mosques, and then when someone defends them, when someone defends themselves, they cry, "Muslim Defense League has come." The cops will try to plead the Muslims for support as well. Okay. J1 London, scroll up. I did. There's a lot of scrolling. Can you just repeat them? Okay. Victoria X says, what's your view on a Liverpool Imam? Is he controlled as well? Who's the Liverpool Imam, Victoria X? Share the link or come jump on and tell us who you're talking about. Who's the Liverpool Imam? Oh, is that the one that invited people for tea or something like that? Threw some haymakers. Yeah. I'm glad he defended himself anyway. Now, okay, many people are sharing their true feelings. Many faces will be recognized. More data for feds. Now they will know everyone. Well, they are the feds. That's the problem. Well, I suppose, yeah, the ones that are. Yeah, you got a point, Lady in the Veil. Dropping some facts. Abu Aisha. Oh, is Abu Aisha here? I don't see him. He was in Wisconsin. Okay. Abu Aisha, did you see that clip of our friend, the Akari, Wajdi Akari? He he commented on you, bro. He commented saying that you're some I don't remember. It was some disparaging remarks towards you, whatever he said. Anyhow, uh, okay. An Islamic Dawah stall attacked by far-right thugs in Liverpool city centre. Yeah, Muslims, we've got to support our brothers and sisters and don't let them get attacked. Sheikh Abdullah Quilliam Mosque in Liverpool. Yeah, says Fafu. Yeah, I mean, I've read about the life of Quilliam. William Quilliam is what I believe his name was, and yeah, he became Muslim, and he started a Muslim newspaper. Done a lot of good work um, in Liverpool, in particular, in the past. One of the early British Muslims, rahimahullah. Okay, want some Tschechien for my dinner. Some Tschechien. Okay, Liverpool. Gonna mix these packs and potions. Send me the banner. All right. A police officer was knocked off his motorcycle and attacked by far-right thugs in Liverpool. So again, you've got a lot of random people, but you've also got a lot of the operational squad in their uniform, guys in black. Where is that anyway? You saying that's Liverpool? Yeah, that is Liverpool. Wow. There seems to be no choice but for our community to start protective measures. Can brothers galvanize defense in the areas vulnerable to be a target? A Muslim woman has had acid thrown on her, cars being torched, and violent attacks, all while the government sleeps. Unbelievable. Well, it's not government sleeping, they're doing it on purpose. They want Muslims to come crawling to them, please save us. No, Muslims, Bushra Sheikh saying the right thing. You need to, what's the word? Form a community. Do you remember in the LA riots, the Koreans, they formed their own defensive squads? Yeah, Muslims need to do that too. If you know any Muslims in your area, any single Muslims, any elderly, come contact them, say you're there to help them if they need anything, help them with the shopping. Yeah. A Muslim march in Blackburn with Arabic chants. These are the kind of scenes which this is a country on the precipice of civil war. Arabic chants also. They agree to live in land from displaced people. Mate, I'm planning to stay away from any news. I'm starting to believe it's fake and will affect our brains. It's all a psyop. JJHGFDE3. Yes, agreed. And that's what we were just looking at a moment ago. We saw that other people are recognizing that it's a psyop as well. Meanwhile, let's see what the police are tweeting. Hold on. Outside of central London, our officers have continued engaging with their local communities and visited religious premises, ensuring they are. Look at that. You got these riots going on, and this is what the Met Police is doing. Get out of here. You know that these people, this government, the first thing that Keir Starmer does once he comes into office is some operation, cause havoc, Operation Unleash Tommy. Oi, Tommy. But Muslims, defend yourselves. Please defend yourselves. Mike is promise Landa. My goodness, bro. Like, I need some decryption software to understand what you're writing. This is all a distraction from Palestine reaction. Let's be honest now. That's an added benefit. Yeah. At the end of the day, we did show earlier that Tommy is an asset of Netanyahu's Likud party. So whatever he's doing must be in the interests of the Likud party. Definitely. We should not care about any of this. They want us to focus on this. It's obvious people are now distracted. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Elle says, we actually feel like going to a village or mountain and living there and having no phone or anything. Yeah. Well, it could be less safe there in the mountain. You mean you're going to go off grid is what you're saying. Yeah. Put Jaffa on him. Where's Jaffa? Is he still around? British people are concerned, says Jay Walker. Like, this person is an immigrant with an English name, because you wouldn't be calling yourself British if you were English. Okay, Jay Walker. It's another, what do you call it? A troublemaking bot has been identified. So let's get back to the PSYOP tweets. The people who are saying this is all a PSYOP. So what did we search for? Southport false flag. There we go. Rubbish. Yeah, you've been rumbled, fam. Don't worry. Okay, here we go. How Southport suspect Axel starred as Doctor Who. What else are they saying? False flag. In Ireland last year, a migrant stabbed and killed and unalived 3 children outside a creche, led to the Dublin riots and new online legislation. Oh yeah, wow! So it's the same thing they're doing now, is it? Subhanallah. Hello.
Hello, Bishir.
Hello, Bishir.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
Yeah, I saw that, bro. That was funny, man.
What did he call you?
This guy that comes on and laughs with him, he just goes, ha ha ha. These people have no life.
Yeah, he said some word beginning with M. You got an echo going on.
Oh, is it about now?
No, it's still there.
Is it? I don't know. I think my audio is messed up, bro. Can you unblock me, mate?
Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do it in a minute. But give me a moment. So, Lady in the Veil, big up, sister. English people where I live are living a normal day. No protest is going on at all. Yeah, exactly. Mike Malzahn in the building.
Yo, what's up?
What's happening, man? Okay,
I didn't see the link was up there, and then your guest got on. I guess it wasn't pinned, but it was up at the top.
Yeah, it's all. There should be.
So, anyways,
first
I did a typo there when I said like the English are a land of immigrants. What I was getting at, and I said I'm an American. I mean, it's more likely for you to call me an immigrant, even though my great-great-grandfather came to America in 1860, so I'm not technically an immigrant, than to call all English people immigrants. And that's why I said, whoa, I didn't know you go back hundreds of years. Obviously, the Angles came from Germany, into England for Anglo-Saxons and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I was just saying the kid looks like he's the firstborn Englishman of immigrants from Rwanda, but I guess you're claiming the whole thing's a false flag and he was a child actor.
We've got like 5th generation Somalis and Yemenis in Wales. 5 generations.
Yeah,
maybe 6.
I would call the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of them Englishmen or Welsh. I guess I don't know. Do they speak Welsh? Probably not.
Yeah, they do. They speak Welsh. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, there you go. Better than King Charles, probably.
Well, how many generations should people be somewhere before they are the people of that place? Do you know what I mean? So
Second generation. I think
second,
immigrants. I think when you're an immigrant and then your children are firstborn, it's reasonable to denote that they're the firstborn because
yeah.
the culture is brought from the old world. But by the second born, third generation within the country, I would just say they're Englishmen or Americans or whatever. But this is semantics, obviously.
So it's clear people are onto what's going on. They're not dumb. People are aware that this is all some staged stuff going on. And as was mentioned here by Muffy in Twitter, he said there was a false flag in Ireland last year. A migrant was unalived who unalived 3 children. Again, 3 children. This time outside a creche, and that led to the Dublin riots and new online legislation. Southport, the same narrative. Wake up and smell the psyop. That needs a repost.
So are you anywhere near Southport?
I'd never heard of Southport. I don't know where it is.
I had neither.
Let's have a look. Where
It's
is
near
it?
Liverpool.
I gotta
It's
assume
right
it's on
next
a
to Liverpool,
coast in
basically.
the south.
Oh, it's up near Liverpool, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, right next to it. Yeah.
So if I go to...
Some white area full of like equinox.
That's like northwest of England then, right?
Yeah, near Manchester. That's where it is.
Okay, so we'll say...
There's like one mosque in the whole city. That's how small it is. Like
Southport. So Mike, if you look, this is the UK, right? I think this VPN is making my stuff come up in German. Strange. Always comes up in German. All right. Then we got Blackpool. Where's Southport gone?
there. It's highlighted in red. Small.
I can't see it now.
There. In between Liverpool and Blackpool.
Where's Blackpool?
See what it says?
Southport. Yeah, got it. Oh, it's right on the coast.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the slave ships went from Liverpool to the United States. Did you know that?
Interesting.
Not just Liverpool, but also Workington up in the Lake District too.
Oh.
Which is Workington's here. And you've got Liverpool, Southport, yeah. I'd never heard of Southport until this false flag. So a lot of people that didn't consider that could be a false flag, right? But it seems to be more and more likely that it is a hoax, not even a false flag, just a hoax.
I didn't know that he was an actor in that sense, the Doctor Who thing. I was surprised.
Don't forget, you know the Grenfell, the fires at the Grenfell Towers in London. The person whose apartment that apparently happened in, he was also an actor.
Really?
Yep. He was also an actor.
Interesting.
And all those people at Speaker's Corner, all those Islamophobes, you know, they're all actors.
Yeah, Tan. I remember Tan when that was going on.
Yeah, Tan. You got that Pavlov, the Ukrainian guy. He's an actor.
Oh yeah, he's gone as well, ain't he?
Yeah, all of those people. They're all on these acting databases, you know, looking for work.
Really? Is it? Well, I mean, like, have you actually checked it out? Tan and Pavlov.
Yeah. We've done a couple of streams looking into all these guys. There's what's the other one called?
Which guy?
He was trying to start the gang business type some Black Pound Day stuff. What was his name?
Business.
Mixed race looking guy. Yeah.
Don't know. I don't know.
Something Rats. No.
The only business guy I know is Jafar.
Yeah, I've forgotten this guy's name, but he was like an ex-rapper. There was some music video he had. So they're all like ex-entertainment industry people, mostly actors and singers. Just pay them a few shekels and they'll dance for you.
Bird Nest is asking you, ask reactionary, will this cause the Welsh to go mad and rip out all the 20 mile per hour signs? I don't get
Well, I
that.
think they already made the decision to get rid of the 20 mile an hour zones maybe a couple of weeks ago. React, what do you think of this guy getting 28 years? Well, what did he do? What happened there? Why did this guy get 28 years? Why did he suddenly get arrested out of the blue for no reason?
Oh, he got 28 years. That's mad.
That's mad. What did he
That's
do?
crazy.
Did he commit some sort of crime? Did he attack
And
somebody? Who knows?
he was linked with an American organization called Islamic Thinkers Society. And I think they're like ALM affiliated. So that's why it's like an American branch of their thing, whatever they got, the little club that they got going on.
Yeah, well, I don't know for sure, but the Islamic Thinker Society was in New York City many years ago, and you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
find
It used to be Madison Square Gardens back in the 90s. Yeah.
and you can't find the video anymore. There's one that's quite hilarious. They're on the streets in New York and they're stomping on an American flag and they're tearing it up. And the one guy's got the bullhorn. And he literally goes, "Muslims, come out of your house, come." He goes, "It's not like back home. You're allowed to say what you want. We have freedom of speech." And he goes,
Nah, but you know what it is though, Mike, yeah? You know
goes-
that organization was heavily infiltrated.
"All right, I won't finish."
No, go and finish, man. Don't cry about it, bro.
Well, don't interrupt. He literally says, this is the funniest part, "We have a permit." But anyways, go ahead. Say what you wanted to say. Maybe you won't get my humor, but I thought it was hilarious. He was literally telling people, the Muslims, it's not like back home. You won't get disappeared in the middle of the night, you know. And then he literally says, "We pulled a permit." But Muslims go ape shit over freedom of speech all the time. So I find it ironic.
Is it?
Go ahead. I'm done.
Children in need and 3 children. Look, apparently it's a hoax. We don't know if anybody, these supposed 3 children actually even existed. According to what we're checking out right now, it's more than likely a hoax. But then Alex Jones got fined by a court like $1 trillion or something.
Right. I was going to say, be careful with your hoax. Alex Jones has lost all his money in the Sandy Hook shooting.
So I'm not saying it's definitely a hoax, but you never know. Are you saying we should believe the media?
No, that's why I was asking if you were nearby. Maybe you should drive down and see if you can find the parents and interview people and see
and where are the bodies?
Where are the bodies? Yeah, see if you can see the bodies. Go do some investigative reporting.
Exactly. Where is Dilly Hussein when you need him? Where's Robert Carter and 5 Pillars? Always begging for money, but they're not doing any underground stuff. Reactionary. The far right often says doctors are coming on boats, and this 17-year-old guy was Doctor Who.
That's funny.
Yes, Khalid bin Walid, bro. That was a good one. That was a good one.
I'm confused. Why would the far right say doctors are coming on boats?
They mock it and say they don't mean it literally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're saying the immigrants who become the doctors are coming on boats.
No, they're saying
really they're the cab drivers.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying it's not like it's not good immigrants coming, it's bad immigrants. Not
See, in America, we have the joke that your cab driver is a doctor. That they come from other countries and they're highly educated, but they don't have the credentials to become doctors in America, so they end up driving cabs.
He wasn't linked, he was organizing it, says Jay Walker. Tomo, look, I've given up badness trying to understand what you write. Alex Jones, Welsh. Yeah, that's true. That Jones is a Welsh name, isn't it? So that's convenient. Breaking. Tommy Robinson arrested under T Act following anti-immigration protest. Okay. British intelligence are staging. Okay, here, so this guy Maze of Deception says British intelligence are staging protests and riots across the UK following their false flag event in Southport. They've been directed to do this to spread anger and division nationwide, or to justify increased surveillance as a response in the form of government digital ID. That's it. Interesting. Interesting. So they want to give people digital ID. Um,
So I got to ask, do you guys think the government is anti-immigrant and they're trying to get the immigrants pushed out with this false flag?
Oh, they are pro-immigration, definitely, and they love illegal immigrants even more because they get paid cash in hand. It means more profits for them. The government just want to make money for themselves and their business donors. Okay, the immigrants are also good for them, that they can when they steal the wealth of the country, when the government is stealing the wealth of the country, they can blame the immigrants. So they say, "Don't look at us; it's the immigrants coming in." It's a typical what do you
Right.
call those
They
populist?
scapegoat 'em.
Yeah, typical populist
Scapegoat 'em.
government. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all it is.
So who committed this false flag?
Who committed this false flag? Well, according to this guy, British intelligence are staging them.
Okay, so reason would follow if the government, British intelligence,
Yeah.
wants more immigrants. Why would they create a false flag that creates anti-immigrant sentiment?
Why would they do something to create anti-immigrant sentiment?
Yes.
Because they want people to rely on them more, say to need them, to want the police. What happened was a week ago, there was a hugely damaging incident with the UK police, where the people,
airport thing?
yeah, the people completely lost trust in the police. It became such a big thing. The government had to get some way out of it to recover. This happened before with the riots after Mark Duggan was murdered by police. There were riots in London, but they triggered the riots themselves to try and get back the trust. It's a common script that the government use.
Well, it sounds like the government's got their act together then. They're very shrewd at these things.
Yeah. It's
So they'll probably stay in power forever.
yeah, they'll stay in power until, well, it's not really the fact that they're staying in power. It's that the people that lobby them most effectively get their way. So it depends who is going to be most effective at lobbying them in the future.
Okay.
A bit like the United States, right? You got ADL. They're the masters of lobbying. They completely have mastered the art of lobbying.
They're very good. Them and APAC.
Yeah, correct.
Sure. I remember when Ilhan Omar, the Somali chick, said, "Follow the Benjamins, follow the money," and she backed down and apologized later. Pelosi was still speaker, and like, "Oh, that's an anti-Semitic trope, about money and blah blah. The Jews control everything," and she went, bended knee to the Democratic Party and said, "Oh, I apologize and thank you for the lesson I didn't know." And everybody was like, well, not everybody, but most people were like, that seemed like a reasonable comment. Look at the money trail. Everybody knows that. Glenn Greenwald was on Tucker, and he's like, no, of course, you got to look at the money. Where's the money going? So I've always thought it's interesting to see the leftists, when the Jews and the Muslims are going to come to blows in America. And now, of course, you have the big brouhaha in Palestine, Israel. So it's coming to fruition here. So it's interesting to see the wafflers of the left who, go with any. You're a racist. You're an anti-Semite. You're an Islamophobe. That's their number one tactic to shut down speech is just insult people and call them racist.
But there is Islamophobia, though. There is an industry promoting Islamophobia. So
I hear that. I'm apparently a part of it, although I've been paid no money, but I've constantly been told I'm a Hezbollah or something troll.
Hasbara.
Hezbollah, yeah. I'm like, dude, turn me on to these people. If I can get paid for doing what I'm already doing, I'll take it. As my one buddy once said, if somebody wants to give you money, you take it. But I get accused of that all the time. I'm a Hezbollah troll.
Yeah. This guy, he's not even English. Like, he's some mixed race mulatto is the word.
You can't say
Friar
mulatto.
Calvin Robinson. Is that illegal to say now?
It's not illegal, but it's frowned upon. It's
okay.
considered a slur. It's
So,
kind of like saying Negro. I heard they were advertising for the United Negro College Fund the other day, and they've abbreviated UNCF.
According to Nick Fuentes, after this event, there will be false flag attacks by ISKP on UK soil. ISKP, what's that? Probably some Islamic name, yeah. He also says on Twitter, my prediction, 0 deportations, 2 more awards for Israel. Yeah, and don't forget what happened with Israel unaliving the guy from Palestine just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I guess now they're saying it was like an RPG or something. They said it was a short-range weapon fired from outside his house. 7 kilograms of explosives. Because I thought they were reporting it as an airstrike, and I'm like, how the hell did they get a plane into Iranian airspace to do that? Was it a stealth drone or something?
Here's an interesting book. It's called What is Islamophobia? Racism, Social Movements, and the State. It was authored by Dr. David Miller. He's a professor from the United Kingdom. He recently won a lengthy court case against his university, who fired him for anti-Semitism. So he argued successfully that we have the right under freedom of speech out to speak against Zionism. So to be anti-Zionist is like a human right.
Sure, I would agree with that. I would also agree with you have a right to be anti-Islam. You have a right to be anti-Christian. You have a right to be anti-atheist, anti-Buddhist, whatever. You guys in Europe don't actually have freedom of speech. Our freedom of speech is obviously being challenged quite a bit in America.
Exactly.
With the homos and stuff.
Well, and Israel, right? They've banned speech against Israel.
No, the government hasn't banned speech against Israel. You can still be anti-Semitic. The KKK still exists. They're very anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but it's recently changed. Since October the 7th, they passed legislation that has banned any speech against Israel.
No, I guarantee there's pro-Palestinians all over the place saying death to Israel. I can go say death to Israel if I want.
Yeah, but if they want to charge you, they can, because they recently passed legislation. I'll have to search for it though.
Yeah, search for it. What would they charge you under?
Yeah, I'll look for it. Hold on.
It was ironic. Terry Jones, the preacher from Gainesville, Florida, went up to Detroit, and we have a large Muslim population in Dearborn, Michigan, and he was arrested.
Okay, here's something. I'm not sure if this is it, but we'll read and make sure if it is. U.S. House. So this article was posted on the 1st of May, 24. U.S. House passes controversial bill that expands definition of anti-Semitism. Rights groups warn that the definition could further chill freedom of speech as protests continue on college campuses. Also, in Georgia, they passed a bill a few years ago, which banned criticism of Israel. And there's a reporter called Abby Martin. I don't know if you know her. She used to be on Russia Today. She wouldn't sign the bill, and she got into some legal conflicts with the state of Georgia about it. If the bill were to become law, it would codify a definition of anti-Semitism created by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, IHRA, in Title VI of the Civil Rights Act 1964. This is a federal anti-discrimination law that bars discrimination based on shared ancestry, ethnic characteristics, or national origin. So it would allow Federal Department of Education to restrict funding and other resources to campuses perceived as tolerating anti-Semitism. And it could stifle campus protests against Israel's war in Gaza. Okay.
Sure, that's the old purse strings approach. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean they can arrest you for saying I hate Jews. It means if your university allows somebody to stand there and say I hate Jews, they pull back your funding.
Yeah.
Which is horrible to begin with.
Indirectly doing the same thing, right? So
yeah, right. But it's not illegal to be an anti-Semite.
Yeah, correct. 1 second. I've just got to send the link to someone. Have you been following the Olympics, Mike?
Not really. I just saw we got silver and bronze in the 100-meter women's. I guess the girl from St. Lucia won, big tall girl. I'm staying with my brother right now. My sister-in-law says there's 40 Gators in the Olympics from University of Florida Gators. So if you haven't noticed, I'm in the Gator room.
I almost went there.
We could be. I went there myself. You didn't go. Why didn't you go to UF?
I had a coach from there, a basketball coach. He was the coach on the Florida Gators. I've forgotten his name, but
Billy the Kid, Billy Donovan.
I doubt it. No, it was a black guy, skinny black guy. I've forgotten his name. He was a really nice coach. He invited me to come and try out. Let's see if I can post that. Yeah, Florida Gators.
I walked on for football. I should have done basketball instead. But that was the 80s. You could be a little smaller and a little slower back then.
I'm sure the Florida Gators' favorite drink must be Gatorade.
Well, that's where it was invented.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah, clearly you did not go there. They tell that story to every incoming. So
I'm actually drinking Gatorade as we speak. I've got it right next to me.
That is what the name is for. Apparently, the story is like in the 60s, they were in anatomy or biology class or something, and some girl raised her hand and asked, how come nobody ever has to stop to pee during like sporting events, and the professor's like, well, when you're sweating and you're burning all these electrolytes, you get depleted and you don't have to urinate. And the girl kind of said, well, shouldn't you replace those? So he formulated a drink with electrolytes in it and stuff.
Okay. Hopefully he didn't pour something else into that drink.
There was no Coke in the Coca-Cola then.
I don't know. I read in the early days there was, but
there was.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola literally had cocaine and the cola plant from Africa or something that makes the sweet part of the drink. They took it out in, I think, the 1940s or something. Their tagline used to be like energizes or something, refreshes and energizes.
Yeah, this guy says, I want to follow you. What do you mean you want to follow me? You can follow. Oh, you mean on TikTok? Okay, all right. Reactionary. Is that why so religious? No, you're not why so religious, are you, Mike? We had another frequent guest on the show from the United States. His nickname is Why So Religious. Do you know him? He's an atheist as well.
I do not. I missed him at the meeting last time, I guess.
He's from I think he's from Tennessee or Nashville. One of the yeah, Nashville is Tennessee, isn't it?
Nashville's in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's from Tennessee.
That could be a tough place to be an atheist. That's Bible Belt.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was a good what do you call it? Guest on the show, frequent. What has Tommy to incite violence? Jay Walker, what do you mean? What has he done to incite violence? You can't be that dumb, right? Like, come on. But the war is coming to a town near you, so be very or wary. Which word are you trying to say there? Look, on the one hand, you're saying you're against man-made law, but on the other hand, you want Tommy to be in prison. Make your mind up. Tommy's been bribed. He's got no choice. If he doesn't fall in line, look, here's a picture of Tommy Robinson. What's he wearing on his chest? IDF, Israel Defense Force. That's who Tommy is. So Jay Walker, are you pro-Israel? You must be pro-Israel. The only people who like Tommy are pro-Israel. Because he's a Sivnat. Ethnats don't like Tommy. Right?
Does he look a bit younger there? Is that an old photo?
Yeah, he's a little bit younger.
Aged a bit, a little more wrinkly.
Yeah, so look where that was. Tommy on at the Golan Heights. Yeah, a mad thing. So Professor David Miller says, what the state of Israel wants most is to intimidate Muslims who protest against Zionist genocide in Palestine. It wants to turn the UK into occupied territory. It has succeeded in doing so among the UK's main political parties, with all of them, including the Greens and SNP, protecting Zionist beliefs by applying the IHRA definition of Judophobia. That's what we talked about a few minutes ago. Now it wants to take that political and media hegemony and replicate it on the streets of Britain. It is up to all of us to prevent this occupation in the UK, in Europe, and the Levant. Wherever the Levant is.
You don't know what the Levant is?
No. Is it a word for like Lebanon and Syria and that region?
Yeah, the whole area. Israel, Lebanon, Syria. That's
okay, yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Right? Remember the Islamic State of Israel, the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant? ISIL. That's when they were ISIL.
False flag stuff, yeah.
And then they just became the Islamic State. So you think that was a whole big false flag, huh?
Yeah, that group doesn't exist. It's just some made-up thing to justify selling weapons. The real war was between Russia and the United States and China as well. It was a proxy war, so they needed some justification.
Okay. Are you familiar with the 1982 Hama massacre? HAMA.
Yeah, listen, Mike. Every time you come, you talk about that. So how can I not be familiar with it?
All right.
Hafiz al-Assad. Yeah, he was the Syrian king at the time.
Yeah, him and his brother, who promoted to vice president.
And he's not Muslim, from what I understand. Those people are what they call Alawites.
Alawites.
Yeah.
They're what it begins with an N. Ibn Taymiyyah did a ruling on them and the Jews, and they weren't Muslims.
Yeah. I was going to say a different word when you said that he was an N. Something began with N. I was thinking of
No, it's NARIS something.
not
I can't see it.
NEGRO. I thought that's what you were
No, you can't say nigger anymore. Come on now.
yeah.
Be careful.
If he had said or done anything to incite violence, he would be inside, says Jay Walker. Okay, scroll, click on the link. Yeah, Jay Walker, click on the link. Join us. See,
Sorry, I didn't mean to invite him on your show, but he seems to have
do
an
you know
opinion.
Jay Walker?
I do not.
Oh,
I
okay.
just like to hear non-Muslims talk to Muslims and
Yeah,
vice versa. I'm not a
I don't
big echo
recognize.
chamber guy.
Yeah, me too. React. Do you do TikTok streams? No, because I don't have enough followers on TikTok. I hardly use it. So, but if you can get me some followers, then I'll do live streams on it. No problem. Okay. Let's see if Jay is going to jump on. Have you got an American equivalent of Tommy Robinson?
I would say back in the day, maybe obviously not as quite a populist or working class. Robert Spencer would probably I would equate
Yes,
closest
absolutely.
to him.
Yeah.
Considered the great Islamophobe. Pamela Geller, during the
yeah.
whole. That's when I actually started looking into Islam more. Was the whole ground zero mosque, the 9/11 mosque thing. I guess they've gone ahead with it. The old Burlington Coat Factory building in Manhattan. They're building a masjid.
Yeah.
But again, you
Ground
get to
Zero
see,
Mosque, they called it.
the Ground Zero Mosque thing in like 2011 or something. In fact, there's a hilarious video of Anjem Chandri on This Week with Christine Amanpour.
Oh yeah.
And
I met her before,
Christine Amanpour.
Yeah.
I liked her when she got the slot on
Really
This
cool.
Week on ABC. I thought this will be good. She's much more international. American news is horribly not international at all. And but she was gone after like 2 weeks. I forget who they replaced her with. I think she came on after Cokie Roberts.
I introduced myself to her. I had a nice little meal with her and a good chat. She was very friendly. I didn't expect her to be so welcoming. So I was quite impressed.
How would you come across her?
In an airline lounge somewhere. I don't remember which city it was. But
just randomly.
When you're just randomly, yeah, she was sitting there.
Not friends of friends, not you're some sort of international journalist that nobody knows about.
No. But I've met quite a few famous people in airline lounges.
Bird Nest Rat said, "Send the B-52s back and teach them a lesson." I'm not sure who she's talking about. The Japanese, the Germans.
That's my TikTok. The war is whatever it is. Yeah.
Iraq, maybe. I don't know if we use B-52s in Iraq, but I think we've retired all the B-52s. Rat Nest, Bird Nest Rat Fest.
What a username of that! Who would come up with that? Bird Nest Rat Fest. Jay Walker, yeah. Richard Spencer, yeah. And there's also Pam, as you said, Pam Geller. Pam Geller invited Tommy to the United States. He turned up without a visa, and she somehow got him in anyway. So.
I'm surprised you would need a visa coming from the UK.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised about as well. But somehow he was prevented from entry, and she got him in.
I saw, interestingly enough, Nambia is now requiring visas from like Europe.
Oh, we do need. All right,
Canada.
so no, from the UK, you don't officially need a visa. We have what's called a visa waiver,
right.
But you still have to fill the form out online and pay the little fee, and 24 hours before travel. So it's a waiver of a visa. Certain countries have that visa waiver. He
Yeah, I
didn't
haven't
have
been to
that.
many countries, but usually as an American, you don't have to do anything. You just show up and go in. But
Yeah, true. That's the United States. You've really asserted yourself well throughout the world, and that's
we are dominating.
yeah, can't blame you for that. Except in the basketball in the Olympics,
Did we
LeBron
lose?
James. No, but LeBron James is just I don't know. He ruins
He's
it
like
for me.
40 years old or something. He shouldn't even be
I
on the
know.
team.
Oh, the commentators they drool over him nonstop. Like LeBron James rips down the rebound. All he did is the ball came to him and he grabbed it, and they say he
It
rips
bounced
down
off
the
his
rebound.
forehead and he caught it barely. Oh, what a dominating rebound.
Yeah, he's starting to play reluctantly. He's starting to play more physical because he has to. Like the guy almost threw his opponent outside the court and broke his arm, and the way they talk about him is like it's justified.
Hmm.
And
That
anyhow,
reminds me of the Dream Team when Charles Barkley elbowed that skinny little Ethiopian guy. When, like, you probably don't remember 1992, but it's like we're
yeah,
playing
Barcelona, the Barcelona Olympics.
yeah. We had lost in '88. We still were playing our college kids at that point, but we lost to Yugoslavia, and so that was a great shame. So the Dream Team, we have Jordan, Barkley, all the Clyde Drexler.
Curry. They
Yeah.
picked Christian Leitner over Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh
That
yeah,
is,
it's the college guy. Well,
yeah,
they had won the national championship that year
yeah,
on
that's
that
true.
that long inbounds play where it seemed like it took
Against
forever when
Duke.
we catch the
Oh
ball.
no, Duke
He
against
was Duke.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Duke
Duke
against
against Kentucky. Yeah, he got a baseball throw from the baseline to the top of the key, and he did like a
from
pivot.
Grant Hill. That
Yeah,
was a classic game. That was
yeah.
an incredible game. Yeah, I remember watching that.
It's funny. I remember in 87 or 88. It was my senior year in high school. I was with a bunch of Princeton guys because it would have been 88 because the one guy I played basketball with went to Princeton and a bunch of his buddies were down. Did you ever see where Princeton ran the four corners against Georgetown?
No, I missed that.
They were the number 16 seed against the number 1 seed. Georgetown was number 1 with Patrick Ewing. In fact, actually, it would have been in the next year, the Olympics, when John Thompson was the coach of the team. He coached Georgetown. But they took it down to the buzzer and lost to him by a guy got blocked at the end, but almost beat Georgetown. Would have been the first time a 16 ever beat a 1. And it was just amazing because I was watching the game with like 12 guys from Princeton. They were going nuts.
Princeton's not like it's more an academic school, right? It's not so
Yeah, that's the
sporty.
thing. They don't give sports scholarships. It's literally a bunch of little white guys running around out there. And,
New Jersey, right? Princeton, I'm sure.
Princeton's in New Jersey. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, the boxing is on tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. So what's the deal? My brother keeps telling me. I guess there's a she-male in the boxing. Or they're not really sure.
Yeah.
XXY chromosomes or something.
Did you see it?
No. I guess the Italian girl gave up after 2 punches and then said,
Yeah.
"That's the hardest I've ever been hit in my life."
Yeah, but I mean, she must have known about this competitor. They've been, competing in women's boxing for 9 years apparently. So she acting like she's never seen them before. It seemed
Right.
to be
And I
staged,
guess
right? So yeah,
is it Nigerian or something or
Algerian. Yeah,
Algerian.
controversy on purpose. Yeah.
So, but the Algerian is saying, she was raised as a girl her whole life or something, which actually reminded me. I don't know if you know, in the German Olympics in '36, there was turned out to be a male won the high jump contest, and he was like 14 at the time. But the life story is, he was born with ambiguous genitalia, some small town in Germany, and the doctor's like, well, I'm not sure, but I think it's a girl, so they raised him as a girl, and he competed as a girl. And then when he was like 20 or something, somebody like literally called the police, like there's some man dressed like a woman on a train, and then they came and arrested him, and then there's a whole big trial, and there was a whole brouhaha about whether he was a girl or a man or female or male. And then he switched to being a male after the court ruled, no, you're a man. So I don't know. There's something to this, intersex thing. Do you think there's a possible third gender or an ambiguous gender?
Yeah. I did a video on this a few years ago, talking about the Islamic position on it. So there is, in Arabic, there's the Arabic word. Hey?
Mukhanaath, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So the male in Arabic is zakar, and the female in Arabic is untha. And there's a third one which is called khuntha, and you're saying mukhannath is the word you're using, right? Khuntha. It's basically somebody who has both male and female traits. What usually happens is that scarcity of people called khuntha, they have one predominant trait over the other. So there'll be more male than female, or there'll be more female than male. You know what I mean? So the question was, are they allowed to have an operation to adjust their gender to match their whatever it's called, some sort of gender alignment operation. That was what the question is. So yeah, this concept exists in Islam as well. It's not unknown. I don't know if it exists in Christianity though. I don't know if they recognize that. Jay Walker says, I once trained a woman boxer, and as soon as she punched, it was like a man. Women tend not to push after the punch lands. Yeah. So that woman boxer, I'm scared to show it because my video will get demonetized, or not demonetized, but copyright strike. Yeah, Olympics videos they're very strict on copyright.
Yeah, well, that's the conservatives, Christians here in America are complaining the whole Last Supper painting.
Oh, what's going on here? One black man surrounded by a bunch of Tommy Tods. Let's see. Did you notice he booted him in his face? Yeah, that precedent was set by the Greater Manchester Police of the UK. They done that a week ago. They booted somebody in the face. See how they normalized this? This guy's probably a police officer. It's their new technique of dealing with protesters, etc. Yeah, and he's wearing their uniform. This is a police operation. That's like the most ineffective police I've ever seen. And we watched some ineffective police, right? Like a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember? This one's pretty bad.
I guess this is like some sort of known thing going on. I mean, why are there even that many police around?
Because
Was-
the government has deployed some
I
psychological
thought it was like a
operation.
day at the park, and then there's a
Yeah,
ton of people everywhere.
this is part of the psyop. They're trying to cause racial division in the UK, so that the people will fall in line and start respecting police again. It happened in the United States as well, right? Do you remember with the George Floyd thing? The people lost respect in the police, so then they started shipping in these BLM protesters from other states to cause damage and riots and stuff. So the people will cry for help from the police once again, whereas they wanted to defund them before. It's the same
Sure.
technique, same operation that all the governments are using.
Well, there was definitely a call to defund the police, and then there were
Yeah.
a lot of riots. I'm going to have to disagree with you that the police actually created the riots. First of all, most of the riots were in, democratically held areas, Portland, Seattle, Minnesota, Detroit, Baltimore. Most everyone agrees, I think, that it's actually the far left, like Soros, that the people who were brought in as, socialist agitators. They think they're not helping the police, but actually going to get society to turn against the police. But you have an interesting theory there, I guess.
Well, it's not like it sounds like a theory, but once you see the evidence, you can't like ignore it. The evidence I saw was these BLM protesters coming up in their hoods and masks and spraying graffiti on these businesses. Now, these people were not from there were people from the town who lived there. They caught these people on camera and they confronted them and they sent them packing. But what they were showing is that these people were being shipped in on buses. They had busloads of protesters being shipped in, and there were even trucks that would drive into the town and they would deposit large pallets of bricks.
Sure.
So that protesters would come and grab the bricks and throw them. So it was an organized, orchestrated thing. And also, it turns out George Soros and a bunch of other people were funding these protests. So it's not just some random thing. It's and it's usually intelligence operations. So a lot of the time as well, when you have protests, like in the UK, we had these student protests when the government wanted to start charging students for going to university. There was a huge amount of protests in London. And what the police did, they sent in certain units dressed as civilians but wearing black and balaclavas, and they would start attacking businesses and causing violence. The reason was they needed a justification to crack down on the protests.
Sure,
to say, look,
sure,
there's violence.
agitators.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
agent provocateurs is
Agent provocateurs.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay. But so now I'm confused because you said George Soros was sending them in. Now George Soros is a progressive, Marxist.
Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. He's, far left wing, not a pro police guy.
Well, he's pro-state, pro-police. They're all, whoever's doing the funding, it's definitely an inside job, right? Agent provocateurs. If you don't take control of it and cause the disruption, somebody else will. At least if you do it, you'll have control over it. That's the idea.
Sure, and that's a big. The right wing guys will say, look at January 6th. I don't know if you know who. What was that guy's name? Roy Epps.
Is that the guy who wore some Viking hat? That one.
No, that was the QAnon shaman guy. This guy didn't actually go into the Capitol, but at the one speech. So Trump was giving a speech down the road from the Capitol, and he's saying, we need to march down to the Capitol and we need to go into the Capitol. And there's actually literally guys filming and people are yelling, Fed at him, that he's trying to instigate you to break the
Yes.
law by going into
Exactly.
the Capitol.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared for like 6 weeks or something. I mean, he's on camera. They know who he is. His name's Roy Epps. He owns a farm in Arizona. And then it was, well, the FBI paid him to be in the crowd, to instigate the crowd. And then later the Democrats were like, oh no, he's cooperating, and he was never arrested, never charged with anything. And then like a year later, they finally charged him with something. And the Democrats are going, see, he wasn't an agent provocateur. They're charging him now. And it's like, well, now that's the cover up for, having paid him to instigate everything and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, any of that's possible. Obviously, false flags have been around since, I think, the Roman times or something is considered the first false flag.
Yeah. You had Pearl Harbor, another one. You had the Reichstag fire in Germany.
The Reichstag fire, yeah.
So you had the Gulf of Tonkin. You had when Teddy Roosevelt was the Minister of War, he arranged for an American ship to get sunk, and he blamed it on Brazil, so that he
remember the Maine. You think?
Yeah.
I think you mean Spain. Blamed it on Spain.
Spain? Oh yeah, or Portugal, one of them.
It was in the. I think you're talking about the Maine.
Yeah.
Was the name of the ship? It was in the Havana Harbor.
Yeah.
That
Maybe,
went down.
And they tried to do it with when Kennedy was in power. They tried to get there's a journalist called James Bamford. He done a book on this. It was about Operation. I forgot what it's called. With the Cuban crisis, they wanted.
Crisis?
Yeah, they wanted Kennedy. They suggested to Kennedy, we'll take a civilian American passenger airliner, and we'll shoot it down with a missile. The public outrage will be so bad that it will justify our response to nuke Cuba. So that was called Operation. I don't remember the name of the operation, but what's his name? Kennedy refused to sign it.
Instead, he did the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But we did shoot down an Iranian.
Right. Say again.
I did. We did shoot down an Iranian airliner in '84, I think, under Reagan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
by mistake.
I think until now, the United States still haven't paid what they promised to pay them for it. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I think we dispute the payment.
The longest going court case in history. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Iranians took some of our offshore oil wells or something in the Persian Gulf, and so we're weighing that against that payment or something. But yeah.
Jay Walker, my first comment to you is about Steve Bunce. You say he's a very good boxing journo, and I'm going to agree with you. I met him a few months back in Riyadh at the AJ Ngannou fight. I got to hang out with him, and I can confirm the guy is very, very hospitable, very welcoming, very kind, and I can't think of more good words to say about him. I was very very dubious about him before meeting him, like years ago. I wasn't his biggest fan, so yeah, I agree. He's a fantastic person, Steve Bunce. Big up the guy. Secondly, Jay Walker. Oh, so Jay Walker knows Claire Core. So we've got some mutual connections here. Yeah, what do you think of Claire Core's secular Quranism, Mike?
I think it's quite insane. Where is it? I'm on chapter 2. Claire, if you're listening, you have a typo on page 15. It says two plans. Page 25, you have a typo. It's instead of it is it. But yeah, Claire sent me her book. She was kind enough to do that.
Oh, cool. I read a
So,
review on Amazon and it was a negative review, so I refrained from buying it.
oh, you should buy it.
Yeah, you think it's worth it? Okay,
It's only like $5-6. You'll be all right.
yeah, okay. Did you have to pay for yours, or was it a free gift?
No comment. I told her I'm too cheap to even put out $5 for it, and she sent it to me. So I don't know if she can do that in the UK. In America, things are cheaper here.
I don't know where she got that picture from for her book, right? Because it's the same one she uses in her profile.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
she just snatched it off the internet somewhere. So she better be careful somebody doesn't sue her for that.
It's pretty close.
Copyright.
You ever watched The Muslim Mum?
Yeah. You watched that channel?
Yeah. I was just commenting on the chat earlier today. They kicked me out though.
Oh, does she go live?
Yeah, she was live talking to some big, thick, white British guy, Dowie.
Dowie, the Muslim fella.
Dowie, yeah, he's a Muslim. He's a convert for 27 years. I heard the whole story.
So you were there criticizing him, yeah? Listen, Mike, I anyway, I'm not gonna say, but I think you're close. You'll be coming to Islam soon, inshallah. You might not see it right now, but I think you will be.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You seem to be attracted to Islamic channels, etc. Right now, it might be for. You might see it as, I don't agree with anything they say, but I think there's a spiritual element to it. It's some sort of magnetism that's drawing you to it. Subconsciously, you don't realize it's happening for a reason.
I have noticed subconsciously, and I think sarcastically, but who knows? I keep saying inshallah.
Really? Oh, mashallah.
So we'll see. Inshallah.
Yeah, man, that's good.
I can never remember the other one. I always want to say Amalama Ding Dong.
Alhamdulillah, you're probably saying that.
See, I want to remember ham. It's like ham, but alhamdulillah. I'm trying to pick up my Arabic.
I don't know if you saw this clip of Joe Rogan.
Khabib definitely is in the conversation. He's the only like really elite guy to retire undefeated.
That's a nasty motherfucker.
Oh, he was so good, dude.
Dude, there's something about looking at that motherfucker. Like, I love these guys who you can look in their eyes, you can tell something ain't right.
When he fought Conor McGregor and they were booing him at the weigh-ins, and he goes, "I'm gonna smash your boy." Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. See, now that's funny because
he's in the conversation.
Last time I was on Dawa Wise, Hashim told me you're not allowed to punch somebody in the face, even in battle, he said. I said, well, I think that's considered mutual combat. Like, don't you all agree going into a battle that, you know, if you can stab them in the face, you should be able to punch them in the face? He's like, no, you can't even punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, we're not allowed to stab in the face either, yeah.
Oh, you know, okay. You can stab them in the heart, just not in the face.
Yeah, the face is supposed to be kept.
So how are there all these MMA fighters? And has this guy never punched anybody in the face? Is he all grappling?
This guy, that's all he does.
Okay.
But no, I guess he defeats people through wrestling too. Like I don't know if you saw him against Gaethje and him against what's the other one, Poirier. He didn't utilize much punch into the face, but with Conor, it seemed personal. Like he threw everything out the window and just went at him.
Yeah, I haven't watched much MMA since, I mean, Uriah Faber. I liked Uriah Faber back in the day. Yeah, Conor is probably the last guy I watched much. I have a friend who's a big MMA guy. He's actually training his daughters. He's got 2 half Mexican kids that they roll a lot. Are the girls allowed to do MMA in Islam?
I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, that's an acceptable
know.
answer. I take that over deflection, and I don't know.
Yeah, if I don't know, I just say I don't know. That's half of knowledge in Islam. One of the scholars of Islam said half of all the Islamic knowledge is to say I don't know. Well, Allah knows best. That's the best.
You got the whole story of Al Qadir punching the hole in the boat and killing the boy.
Oh yeah,
and
Khidr.
building the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
It's in the Quran. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 1874 kills the boy.
Jay Walker says, "Does the panel think it's a good idea to have a boxing evening? Christians versus Muslims? Yeah, maybe Jews
I
as
think
well,
that's a
right?
great
What?
And put in the atheists fighting for the side of Satan.
Did-
See who wins.
Did
Who's
you
God?
watch Hamid Hijab's new series that he's published? Some, not a movie, but like he's got some TV show that he's produced. Have you seen it?
I have not. I haven't watched. I don't know. He doesn't pop up in my algorithm anymore for some reason. Maybe they blocked me and I'm shadow banned or something.
Yeah.
But I used to watch Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab a lot more. I watch mostly now Daniel Hahikaju, the Muslim skeptic. You ever watch him?
Yeah. I never used to watch him, but in the past few weeks I've started to kind of watch clips of his show. It's quite he talks about current affairs, so it's quite interesting. It's nice to get an alternative view of modern topics, especially when the mainstream Muslims are just trying to sound liberal to be accepted. You know.
Yeah, he doesn't care much for Yasser Ghadi and his
No.
liberalism, or even Omar Suleiman. And
Definitely, yeah.
he's a straight shooter. Did you see him and Jake on the PDB debate? That was with
Oh
Spencer.
yeah. What did you think of that?
I didn't think it was very well moderated.
Yeah, true.
I don't think Spencer did a terrible job. I was really surprised he never brought up begins with a T. I always want to call it taqueria, but the concept of
Tapia.
lying, taquilla, that you know that's like usually his go-to thing is, oh, the Muslims are allowed to lie to you, to infidels. It's like the research I've done on it says it's really a Shia thing to keep the Sunnis from killing them mostly. But it's just you're allowed to lie to not be killed as a martyr. But neither of them presented themselves very well, and PDB tended to just kind of go with the Muslims. I mean, the whole prelude to it, he was kind of like, they're outbreeding us. We need to do this. Actually, I guess it was supposed to be Muhammad Hijab, and I don't know if it was Ali Dawa or somebody else was going to go. And then they're like, oh, they were going to sabotage us. It was going to be 3-on-2. And so then Daniel and Jake filled in at the last minute or something.
I thought they done really well, to be honest. I was quite impressed. See, Jake.
I thought the most ironic thing was right off the bat. So PDB asked Spencer, like, what don't you like about Islam? So he said, well, the apostasy law, right? You kill the apostates. And then Daniel's answer was, well, how come everybody brings this up? 95% of Islam's good, blah, blah, but they hate this 5%, and that's what they bring up. And I don't know why PBD wouldn't say, well, I literally just asked him, what don't you like about Islam?
Yeah.
He was like crying that, oh, you bring up the negative right away. Well, he asked for the negative. But then the other thing I thought was hilarious was Daniel was saying, I support traditional Christian values. Muslims and Christians, at least the old Christians, we were more aligned. Obviously it's mostly we hate the fags and stuff, but and then the apostate thing, I was wondering why nobody said, well, okay, Daniel, let's say America declares itself a Catholic nation and therefore wants to impose Catholic laws. Should Jake be killed? Right? Because he's a Catholic Italian, by birth. Should we kill Jake? I thought that would have been a good question, but
Yeah, here's the video. 1.5 million views. It's got.
Neu, Borotal Couture umarmt das Leben. Jetzt bitte Usebach. Back to school. Alles
So
verdient
if
Schuhe
I
Sneak.
Yeah, see,
find
they called
it,
it a round table too. They kind of presented it as it's not a debate. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
find common ground. And he started out with, "What don't you like?"
That the call to prayer, the Islamic call to prayer,
This
was
guy
the
is
most
so
beautiful
whack.
sound that she had ever heard, and she would tell me full the
Robert
and not
Spencer.
tell me.
Yeah,
Muslim
Spencer.
Albert in 20
level. I'm sure. In Moran, like I was.
This
Then I
guy's even
converted
worse.
at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so I was raised a Roman Catholic. My entire family is Roman Catholic up until today. I personally never really believed in the religion, primarily because the theology never really made much sense to me. As I grew older in my late teens and going into the university years, I naturally, the mind starts to think about the deeper questions in life. What's the purpose of life? Does God exist? What religion is true? And so I went on this search and eventually found the path of Islam, primarily because I believe that it's the only religion today that truly supports pure monotheism. I know that Christians, and maybe we'll get into this in the discussion, claim to be, but I found doctrines like the Trinity and incarnation to be completely incoherent and found problems with them. And the Islamic narrative of there being one and only true God that is worthy of worship and that he sent prophets and messengers with this consistent message throughout time was very inviting to me and fit with my natural disposition. And I became a Muslim in my early 20s about 10 years ago and been Muslim ever since.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Daniel, how about yourself? Yeah, my background is my parents came from Iran. They're both from Shiraz. I was born in the U.S. actually and was raised here in Houston, Texas. And I love my parents. And they raised me like an Iranian, had a strong Iranian Persian identity. As I was in high school and then college, I started to become more religious, like learning about my background from my grandparents, for example, from my dad. And I just became more religious, started practicing Islam. I became Sunni. So I'm from a Shia background. I became Sunni. And in college, I went to Harvard University. There was a lot of pressure on Muslims at that time. Because of like the war on terror, counterterrorism efforts. And there was this effort to liberalize Islam and to say that traditional Islam or the Quran or the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, their teachings are not consistent with modern life, with modernism and liberal secularism. And this posed a conflict for me. Like, how do I reconcile a traditional Islam with liberalism, secularism, and these modern ideologies? So I went and studied philosophy, and I became critical of these ideologies like modern liberal secularism, humanism, atheism, these isms, and that's,
All right. There's a bit I wanted to get to. Where is it? It was the first question that Jake asked to
When you
Spencer.
put to death, not depicted freedom.
say to a few points to respond. My parents was all we heritage on a stand from the Bible. I says that we need
examples from his side. The an Islam of people up, and
Is that what I
both religions.
Okay, here we go.
can I comment?
go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I would ask Robert a very simple question that I think gets at what the real issue actually is. Do you believe that it's inherently immoral for an apostate to be put to death?
Do I believe that it's inherently immoral
Yes.
for an apostle?
That language that Jake chose to use. Listen, I've spent time with Jake on these. What's that thing called? Clubhouse. he's very good at this type of philosophical phrasing. I have to rate him for that.
Is it to you a question that I think gets at what the real issue actually is? Do you believe that it's inherently immoral for an apostate to be put to death?
Do I believe that it's inherently immoral for an apostate
Is it
to be
inherently
put to death?
immoral?
Well, I know this is some kind of trap.
Yes,
but
it is.
In any case,
No, it's
I don't
I'm just
see any
looking
reason.
for honesty on your part. That's all.
You can always have honesty on my part. Everything I tell you is the truth.
Okay, so go
and
ahead.
the fact is that yeah, I don't know. I tell you the truth. I
You
haven't
don't know.
thought about
Wow.
it.
Okay,
But-
you haven't thought about it. Well, you're writing
Yeah.
all of these books on Islam
Then how are
talking
you
about
criticizing
apostasy,
Islam?
Right.
and you don't even know if this is inherently immoral. That's quite shocking, Robert.
I would say that I don't think that it's moral to put the apostate to death.
So it's
But
immoral.
As it comes to my books about Islam,
So his whole belief system is now immoral. His God is now immoral.
I'm just reporting on what Islamic clerics and the Islamic tradition teaches about passages like when Muhammad says, if somebody changes his religion, kill him. So
Yeah, but
if you look, for example, in chapter 4, verse 89 of the Quran, in the critical Quran, where it says, if they turn renegade, then come and kill them wherever you find them, then I give Islamic authorities who actually say that this should be done. And that is something people need to know. Now, whether you're talking about in the ideal society of concept that beings understand, but
inherently
this is all the
immoral?
same issue. Whereas in
Is it
Christianity,
inherently immoral?
all people are equal in dignity as made in the image of God. And so in that sense, I would say, no, I don't think it is.
So is it inherently immoral, yes or no?
Can I
Yeah.
answer that?
It is.
It is.
So when the Bible, when Deuteronomy, since you like to quote the Quran, when the Bible says this in Deuteronomy 13:6, if your brother, the son of your mother, your son of your daughter, the wife of your bosom, or your friend, who as your own soul secretly entices you, saying, quote, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, neither you nor your fathers, of the gods of the people which are all around you, near to you or far from you, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. You shall not consent to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him, nor shall you spare him or conceal him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first against him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones until he dies, because he sought to entice you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. So all Israel shall
I'm
hear
taking it
and fear,
upstairs.
and not again do such wickedness as this among you. So let me finish.
Assalamu alaikum, Uzziz.
Walaikum salam.
How's it going, bro?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Not too bad. Who else? Who are you? Who's that on the left?
Where? On the stream.
screen.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Hey, are you the guy who called me a pedophile last time?
A pedophile? How do I?
Yeah, you sound familiar. I was on a stream, and after I hung up, yeah, I think it was you. And you're like, oh, I think Mike's a pedophile or something.
I don't think it was me. I wouldn't. How would I know that?
I don't know. Reactionary, do you remember that? Wasn't that this guy? Was that like 2 weeks ago? I'm sorry, I can't see him or his name because of my own thing brought up. My big M there is blocking him out.
His
He
name's
sounds
Ozzy.
very familiar.
Mike?
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? What's your question? You're asking who that is. It's Ozzy's.
Yeah. Didn't that guy call me a pedophile like 2 weeks ago?
I don't remember him saying that.
Hmm.
There were a couple of people you spoke to, right? It wasn't just him. But
It
I don't
was
know, maybe.
literally like at the end of your stream, like 2 weeks ago. I'll see if I can find it. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Well, if I may say, I find it ironic that Jake says Islam has been consistent throughout its history, you know, Allah with its prophets, when alcohol wasn't banned until sometime within Muhammad's prophecy. Why wasn't it banned by Moses? Why wasn't it banned by Abraham, by Adam, if you all considered Adam to be the first prophet? So that seems a little inconsistent. And of course, Robert Spencer did not comport himself very well by not being able to say, yes, inherently you do not kill apostates. And therefore, yes, the Catholic Church, or I guess he's a Greek Orthodox or Eastern Orthodox guy, actually, but those churches were all wrong to have those rules, but they are not given by God.
Yeah, then he can no longer be Christian.
That's true. He should no longer be Christian. No one should be a Christian. It's a terrible religion. It has lots of bad laws, just like Islam. But go ahead. I'm going to try to find where this guy called me a pedophile. I'm pretty sure. Is it OZIZ? Is his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting more and more sure the more I think of it.
Did that hurt your feelings, huh?
No, I thought it was funny. I was laughing, but I'm like, how did this guy just call me a pedophile out of nowhere for no reason? I'm not even sure I mentioned Aisha or anything.
Where is he? Where's Oz? Is he still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you'd be talking about the riots in the UK.
Yeah, we were, bro. We done
Okay.
some deep dive into that, and it turns out, you know, in Ireland a few months ago, there was this supposed case of an immigrant who they claim had murdered 3 children, and the result was riots.
Oh yeah, I remember the Irish riot. Yeah.
Same exact thing that's happening in the UK right now.
But I'm just watching Talk TV now. It's saying Sunderland is full of asylum seekers. This thing with crime and wanting. Okay, if someone does a crime, like, why do we want to know who's done the crime to determine our reaction?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying? So now, okay, like if you told me, for example, you call me Trump's being shot, okay, I understand. He's been assassinated. Now, if a black person, Latino or white person or Muslim does it, does now that change our reaction to?
Yeah, if a Muslim does it, then it's terrorism.
Yeah, but it seems that what happened in England, my first response is this is a tragedy. Did you understand? It's not. I'm not thinking
Did it really happen? It turns out it's a hoax.
What? Okay, but I'm just saying is like you know, because it's I don't know. I find it deeply disturbing when. But then
the guy
you
they're
can say
blaming
that
it on is an actor. He was on Doctor Who.
And the thing is, like, there's always incidents of mad people killing children. You can go back to the 60s. Those guys, I don't know if they're still alive. Was it Maria Hindley and the husband? They killed children in Yorkshire. Like,
and don't forget, there were those 2 children that took a child in the shopping mall.
That's when we were in school. Jamie Bolger and those.
Jamie Bolger, yeah.
Apparently, they've been sent here to Australia. No one says they were Catholic or they were Protestant or they were this or they were that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and there's a mental health epidemic which people are going blind to. The amount of people with schizophrenia and the people who hear voices, and there's people who think they're prophets or messiahs. So I'm not sure. But anyway, this thing about reacting to who's done the crime but I think it's X. I blame X, the Elon Musk and Murdoch, because obviously the billionaires are the only people who benefit from this.
Correct.
So, well, let me ask you this. Why do you think, like in Texas in 1961, we had a guy at the University of Texas up in a bell tower. It's where the old saying, shouldn't you be in a bell tower comes from, just started shooting people. I mean, these crimes, the worst, we have a lot of mass shootings, obviously, here in America, because we have a lot of guns. We got a lot of crazy people, but the actual highest instance of deaths was, I think, 49 children were killed in 1925, Bath, Michigan. A guy blew up the boiler in a school and killed a bunch of kids, and literally drove his Model T, into the administrative building, shooting off a gun and stuff. So social media, I think, can certainly exacerbate things and give people, the old lonely guy in his basement courage to go out and shoot at somebody. I think the Trump shooting was probably part of that. Although apparently a lot of people think it's a conspiracy. But this has always gone on throughout human history.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But some people are. It's like there's mass shootings. I think the mass shooting in Scotland, Dunblane. I think Andy Murray was in the primary school when that happened. No one says, is it because he's Scottish or Gaelic? Do you see? We don't go into the genetics or and we don't blame, he was a Scottish Catholic or something, or he supported Celtic. That's what's the reason why he's gone into this. So I find, the aftermath of this tragedy in Southport, and then people kind of gossiping online, and then people saying that the government is lying to them, and they're hiding it from us. We know it's a Muslim, we're 100% sure, and this and that. And I find that behavior very, very strange.
Ozis, check out, what you're saying about exactly what you're talking about, right? Check out what Paul Mooney said about it. Mike, you should know who Paul Mooney is, right? Let me know if you don't.
I do not. I know who John Money is, Mooney.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you who he is in a moment then. But listen to what he's got to say here.
And not giving up to white folks. They know what to say in court. Niggas, we don't know what to say. Them white folks know how to, serial killers, you know that. I saw some shit on Showtime where the serial killers from driving from state to state killing people and wasn't stopping for gas. That shit, I was by myself. That shit scared shit out of me. I tried to turn to HBO. I got scared. Because they crazy. White folks will kill you. Don't even have to know you. Why you kill? Won't you see them dead? Crazy as cat shit. And got all the answers in court. They asked the crazy white man, why did you kill your wife? I was sleepwalking. It's a very unusual case. We'll have to study it. Crazy nigga, why'd you kill your wife? I was sleepwalking. Oh, nigga, really? Well, we're going to put you to sleep. We're going to put an end to all of this. No, nigga, there'll be no more walking around. Crazy white man, why did you wake up and kill everybody in the house? I don't remember. He doesn't remember. What an unusual case. We'll have to study this. Crazy nigga, why did you wake up in the project and kill everybody? I don't remember. 2,000 years, nigga, I bet you will remember. Crazy white man, why did you wake up and kill everybody on your block? I'm 12 different personalities. 12 different people? How unusual. We'll have to study this. Crazy nigga, why did you wake up and kill everybody at BET on your job? Because I'm 12 different personalities. Oh, really, nigga? Well, pick who you want to be, because some nigga's going to jail. Fred, you don't give a damn. A nigga's going to jail today. They don't let us get away with bullshit. The white folks can talk shit all day long. And everybody believes it. The complexion for the protection. Look at that white man. He'll say anything. Niggas, Puerto Ricans, don't you write on the wall? It's against the law. Graffiti. Then he'll find a mountain and put his face on it. Oh, he's a bitch. Read my lips. This white man's in the space program. Has lost 2 space probes worth $142 million apiece. He's the only person free enough to get on TV. Well, shit happens. Let's move on. Let a nigga lose one space probe. They will build a rocket ship. Nigga, get in the rocket ship. Go find the space probe. Don't come back, nigga, if you don't find it. And take this little ugly ass monkey with you.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard all of that. Okay, that
Yeah, yeah.
that sums up pretty much what goes on.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. I mean, obviously in America,
And I
would
give it up
point to OJ.
Right.
You know, it's less about race generally in America than it is about class and money. You know, OJ put a dream team together, and of course, 90% of white Americans thinks OJ did it, and 90% of Black Americans say, "Oh no, why would he kill his wife?" But it seems like he got off from killing his wife, right? Or do you guys have a big conspiracy theory about that?
I don't. Well, I don't have a conspiracy
Well,
about that.
We don't know if it's not about whether he killed his wife. It's about whether it can be proven beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, that was more like a legal thing. Yeah, he had access to lawyers that most Black people don't.
And that was part of his joke was, white guy gets up in the middle of the night, kills his whole family. The lawyers tell him, okay, we're going with insanity. We're going with you're a sleepwalker. We're going with whatever. Whereas the Black guy kills his family and, he gets a public defender and he's like, well, I don't know. You did it, right? Well, maybe we better plead. So.
Yeah, that's just, I think America has its own unique problems. I think I can't really speak. I've only been to America once. I can't really speak about it, except from what is fed to us from, the news. But yeah, the English one is interesting in the sense that we've had high cases of paedophilia within the national broadcaster, the BBC and stuff. But we don't see these thugs protesting outside the BBC, where information was hidden. People like Paul, what's his name? Philip Schofield and this other, there was clear information. Police told the BBC not to report on it. And these guys are just walking around like normal people. Jimmy Savile, this, that. Everybody knew.
Sure, it's like the Catholic Church. I mean, there was,
the Catholic Church has been exposed in us, but they have immunity. That's the thing. The Catholic Church, because of the Italian and they own a lot of money and land, they actually have immunity.
Well, here in America,
this
case
hundreds
of millions of dollars, but
it says a few months ago, this white man went on a rampage in London with a sword. He brutally murdered this child and seriously injured both members of the public and police officers trying to help. Strangely, the right-wing thugs didn't riot to protect the English child. I wonder why.
Right,
and
they don't want to kick the other white guys out. They want to kick immigrants out. It's just like in Islam. Why are there no street protests? To free Tibet or even for the Uyghurs who are Muslims in China, but when there's the war in Palestine, there's a huge uproar about it. People have selective outrage. That's that's a standard thing.
This is Hugh Edwards, the guy that was just talking about. He worked for the BBC. He's a bit like Brian Williams from the United States, network news corporations. He had some sort of. What's the issue, Aziz? What happened with him?
They were saying actually the BBC knew from November. So he was actually being investigated before it became a headline story, before his resignation and all that kind of stuff. They were saying they actually knew, and I think the police told the BBC not to say who it was. Because, you know, most of these crimes are online. They have special units now. They have special police units that monitor the pedophiles online. So they must have known about it for a while. Because he was convicted for, is it making images? Or
Yeah.
sending images or something? I don't know
Of
what.
young. It says here. What does it say? Yeah, he pled guilty for producing indecent images of young children. Now, it doesn't say distributing images. It says producing images.
No,
That means he took the pictures.
Yeah, no, he didn't take a picture.
Yeah, producing.
He shared. What it was, he was speaking to some
Distributing
kind
is
of rent
sharing, right?
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
producing
he
it
was
means he
speaking to
took the
some kind.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, he was speaking to like a rent boy online, and I think that rent
But
boy
it says
then.
young children, bro. Young children.
Yeah, they get all these pictures from the Philippines. Allahu Akbar, you know, I don't know, man.
Bro, producing images, not distributing. That's different. Producing, that means he took the photos.
Yeah, I don't know if he kidnapped. I don't think he had young people in his. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, weird guy. And you know, he actually got a pay rise this year. He's the highest paid. He got a pay rise, even though they knew this was going on.
And so I'll tell you what, I've
Jimmy
got a little
Savile.
job for you. Would you like to take this Dim and Fix It badge to my friend there?
I don't even want to watch him actually.
Yeah,
Too creepy, bro.
Get him off.
Yeah.
Jimmy Savile, bro. That guy gives me nightmares, man. We all used to watch that show in the 90s, man. Get him on, get it.
Oh my gosh, Nikki Campbell. This is the BBC host who paid teenager for sexually explicit photos. What? £35,000 paid. Are you kidding me?
Nikki, I thought he said he was abused. Nikki Campbell said he was abused.
I don't know how true it is.
Yeah.
Nikki Campbell said at the time of the Hugh Edwards story, many malicious communications were made on Twitter. All right, so he's denying it then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him. It's not him.
Yeah.
He was abused by his housemaster in Scotland.
SubhanAllah.
He was abused by his.
Jill Dando, do you remember she was murdered? Well, apparently she raised the alarm of the paedophile ring at the BBC. Interesting.
Yeah, there he is, Philip Schofield. He was on TV. Do you remember when he used to do that thing? Gordon the Gopher. Do you remember when it was
on children's television? Yeah.
Yeah. Remember it was children's TV.
That was him.
He was Gordon the Gopher. Do you remember? In the 80s or 90s. We grew up watching all that rubbish, remember? Gosh. Damn.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And he did Going Live. Because remember, he was on BBC before ITV.
Yeah. So if you are a BBC presenter, a prominent BBC presenter, one has to assume by default that the person is a P word, like guilty, presumed guilty. That's what the position we have to take.
I don't know about we can't say all, but we can say the BBC does.
The prominent ones with the high pay, yeah. Gosh. Oh gosh, that is crazy. It's sad, bro. Sad.
But that's what I'm saying. Where's Tommy Robinson and all the right wing against the BBC? I don't understand. Like,
the BBC is part of the establishment, And so Tommy is one of the tools that the establishment uses to protect themselves. What's it called? To distract the public.
But I thought, like you said, I think it's the Zionists that are funding him. The Zionists.
Yeah.
It's the Zionist funding.
Yep. We went through that earlier. We saw some photos of him in Israel on the Golan Heights on an Israeli tank. There's a picture of him wearing the kippah. Is it called the kippah? The hat that they wear?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at the Wailing Wall. Yeah. So,
Did he go to the kibbutz? Did he go to the farm?
I think they said he lived in a farm along with Geert Wilders in a settlement. They lived there together for a while. So there was a whole documentary by one of these Al Jazeera on them. Now, what's the guy's name? Crawford. That's it, Crawford. And Madrimov.
Can I ask you guys, do you think like the attacks on the Charlie Hebdo people were Islamically motivated?
Charlie Hebdo?
Yep.
That may have been a false flag, so I don't know.
Another false flag.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy who attacked Salman Rushdie, false flag?
Salman Rushdie, I don't know who attacked him. I didn't know he got attacked.
It was just some guy. He took his eye out, or one of his eyes.
No, that's not true. He always
That's
had
not
that
true?
funny eye, yeah.
He may have had a little bit of a whacked eye. Didn't they like set a hotel in Pakistan on fire in the late 80s, early 90s after
It's 8:46.
killed like 35 people? The Italian and I think Japanese translator of his book were killed. Those were all false flags.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
No, I think the Charlie Hebdo attack.
Go on.
It's one of those things. I think France has a very France's relationship with its former colonies or people. France has a very complicated relationship. You can call it Islamist if you choose, or you can call it like this. It's similar to the problem you have with black people in America. It's not necessarily a religious thing. You can see it more as a race. A race thing. If you read the colonial history.
The formerly subjugated people rising up.
Rising up. Yeah, you should just see it like that. Obviously, because France conquered most of North and West Africa, so those people, by definition, are Muslims because of the territory France went to, type of thing. But there's been a long history of discrimination with the Algerians. They only just got independence in the 60s. So when you were having your problems with civil rights, the Algerians were asking for independence and they got chucked into the River Seine, and like 1 million Algerians were killed in the 60s, which they don't teach. They just tell you, oh, okay.
I just saw the guy on SF Dawa today in Stratford. A Nigerian came up to me. He said, oh, brother, 1.5 million Algerians. Yeah, there was a huge uprising, obviously, against colonial. I'd never heard of it, but I guess Churchill killed, 500,000 Kenyans or something, put them in concentration camps in the 50s.
The Mau Mau people, the Mau Mau uprising.
Mau Mau reaction. But, if you look at Islam, look at the massacre of Chios.
Listen to this. This is quite a little, not very well known, right? Check this interview with Salman Rushdie, 1990.
Right after Satanic worship.
Why the conversion to Islam?
Well, as I said, conversion isn't quite the word because that implies you were something else before.
Oh, no, it's not this way. I beg your pardon. Sorry, it's this way.
What I've learned about myself in 2 rather difficult years is that I have a thirst for that other thing called God.
How scared are you that somebody will come out and kill you with a gun?
Well, I mean, I guess I have to be aware that there's a possibility of that, you know, but I'm not going to allow that to shape my actions.
Because it is brand new and everybody here is getting nothing. Oh no, it's not. I beg your pardon. Sorry, it's this way.
Come further back. This is way better.
Go ahead, Tom. I want to know what room you want open.
The point is,
Having a look at the times, I haven't seen they've got.
Yes, I can get you one.
Yeah, they have.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll fish one up for you. Well, we're pretty much in chaos at the moment.
Yeah, looks very impressive.
Well, yeah, we're trying to find our way around. That's the
yeah.
sad place by the time we left it. So, I mean, we just had. I mean, we'd outgrown it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sugar.
Right. What I said.
Paperback. Start on the paperback.
Try and be more concise.
It's hard to be concise in subjects as. Okay. Salman Rushdie, can you just clarify the position on the paperback edition of the Satanic Verses? What is actually happening there?
Oh, what I've said is very straightforward, is that I won't permit more translations or an English language paperback while any risk of further offence exists. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's the time that's as long as it needs to be, because what I wanted to do was to create a space in which in which there could be time for understanding. And now, however long it takes for people to come to understand that this book was not written as an insult, and in fact is not an insult to any religion, I want to give it that time.
But that time may never come. I mean, you don't see it as an insult, but there are many people that do.
No, I mean, what I've said and what many of the people I've been talking to have agreed is that the book was misunderstood, that it's a kind of tragic misunderstanding, and a lot of explanation needs to be done. However, I've also, of course, accepted that for many people, or for some people anyway, there's been a reading of the book which was upsetting. And I've repeatedly apologized for that, because clearly if you don't want to upset people, and you do, you say you're sorry. What I've been trying to say is that there are other readings of the book, in which the book, in fact, is, in my mind, my most spiritual novel, in which the story of Jibreel, around which all the fuss is extraordinary, time to come, so the future. I mean, all I've said is that while things are as they are, there won't be a paperback.
Why the conversion to Islam?
Well, as I said, conversion isn't quite the word, because that implies you were something else before. Whereas what I've been doing is to, by very slow and really difficult to talk about on television processes of thought, been moving closer and closer to a position in which I can affirm the basis of Islam. I mean, I haven't changed overnight, is what I'm trying to say. All my books have seriously engaged with religion. Nobody who's been that interested in religion for that long is that far away from it. I mean, I have a view which is, I mean, I've been reading a lot of Dostoevsky recently, and he talks about how in him there was, in his time when he came very close to a firing squad and was then in jail, he discovered that he was thirsting for faith, as he says, like parched earth, and found it because truth shines in misfortune. However, he said, he was also continued to be a child of his time, which was a time of doubt and skepticism. And that impulse was very strong in him and contradictory, of course. Now, I feel in myself both those. I've always felt myself to be a child of an age of doubt and skepticism, and I continue to think that about myself. But what I've learned about myself in 2 rather difficult years is that I have a thirst for that other thing called God. And that thing is inside me and will be there now for the rest of my life. I don't see it as a diminishing of my possibilities as a human being. I see it as an increase.
But why the Islamic faith as against all the others that are open to you?
Oh, because for me it would have to be Islam. I mean, because by family background, by culture, by nationality, by history, I mean, that's the faith which I know about and which I felt interested in, and that's been the one that's always been in my work. And I mean, of course, when one espouses a religion, one doesn't espouse its worst excesses. I mean, the Islam that I know about has to do with my family, with my friends, with my grandparents, etc., who were all extremely loving, tolerant, gentle, broad-minded people. That tradition is very important in Islam, and certainly that would be the Islamic tradition that I see myself as belonging to. I mean, somebody who's a Christian doesn't necessarily endorse the Inquisition.
What about those who say that you've embraced the Islamic faith simply to save your own skin?
Well, I mean, let them say it. Frankly, it's a matter for my conscience, and my conscience feels fine. It seems to me sometimes that I've been stuck between one group of people who think that any step I might make is somehow wrong and a betrayal, and other people who think that any step I might make is insufficient. Now, what I'm doing is simply taking the steps that I believe to be right. And if anybody thinks they could do better, I'd very happily change places with them.
You're saying, in a sense, that nothing that you can do is the right thing.
Well, I think there's always going to be somebody I've been hit from all sorts of directions in the last 2 years. I've been accused of every conceivable kind.
So yeah, that's an interesting video. So Salman Rushdie had converted to Islam after publishing that novel. Not very well known, but yeah, there you go. I think he subsequently flip-flopped again, but at least this part of it is not very well known. And yeah, that being the case, I think, Mike, I've had a good show. I mean, interesting topics to go through. If there's anything else you'd like to say before I go, because I'm starting to I think I need to get some sleep. But yeah, you're on mute, by the way. So
my bad. I was typing in the chat, so I didn't want the typing to come through.
No problem.
Yeah, I always assumed Salman Rushdie was raised a Muslim. I mean, Salman, is that not Solomon in some translations?
I think it's from maybe an Indo-Pakistani background.
Yeah, he's from British India. He
Yeah.
was born in British India. So, again, I assumed he was a Muslim by birth. But somebody in the chat said he was a Shia. But anyway.
I know that I remember there was a clip of him visiting the mosque in Regent's Park in London, which was an Egyptian imam. They had helped him to take his shahada. So that's not Shia, they're Sunni. So I don't know.
Was that before you went into hiding or afterwards?
It was around that time of that interview. So it's after he published the book. I don't know when he went into hiding. Though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He probably went into hiding around 89, 90, something like that.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
That interview was in 1990. So maybe he went into hiding after the interview. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to have to sadly end the show. And I want to thank you, Mike, and Oziz, and Abu Aisha, and everybody else who participated and typed messages, etc., and watched and listened. So yeah, if you got any topics you want us to review and to react to, let me know, and we'll speak again soon. Thanks, Mike.
So is your email down in the link or something? Can we, your participant, audience participation, should we shoot you stuff for next week?
Yeah, you can, or you could just type a comment on the video. Yeah. Hey, Jen Wallace. Have you spoke to Jen Wallace before? She's an American.
She says y'all. She must be from the South.
She's
What's up, Jen? How y'all doing? Y'all too?
She's a New Yorker, right? I think she's a New Yorker.
Y'all has spread more than you think. Even the Yankees say it now.
I think New York is made up mostly of non-New Yorkers now, isn't it?
Yeah. in
Well, it depends if
Miami.
you're talking about
was-
New York City or New York State.
Upstate is the real New Yorkers. She's a Southerner from Alabama. Oh yeah, Roll Tide Roll.
On the north. Yeah. How many eyes in Mississippi?
6. 7.
No.
MISSISSIFPPI. 5.
Mississippi.
Sweet home Alabama. That's right.
Yeah.
Carry me home to see my kin, singing songs about the Southland.
Is Jordan M really live? Let's go. Let's check out if Jordan M is live.
Jen held you on now. Now you got some Southern twang going here.
Do you know Jordan M, by the way, Mike?
No. Who's Jordan M?
He's one of the Dawa people.
Actually, I think I do know him. I think he came on Dawa Wise one time, and he actually knew me.
He knows you.
He knew me as the Jinn guy. I think he's got a beard. He's a white guy with a beard.
This is him. Can you see him or not?
Looks like he's maybe 30.
Yeah, he sometimes does videos with the Dawi, the Muslim fella, as well on TikTok.
Yeah. He was on Dawa Wise with Abbas and Hashim.
What do you think he's talking about? Let's see. You can jump on his stream, by the way. He's got the StreamYard link there.
Is he live?
Yeah.
Let me
So
go.
I'll end my stream and go on there. Let me see how it goes.
Yeah, I haven't subscribed. Jordan M.
All right, bro.
He was surprised I knew who the Prime Minister of the UK was. Anyways, all you Muslims have a good.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.